Have you ever wondered what it was like to stand on top of a massive stone pyramid while thousands of people screamed your name? Imagine you are a young boy in the year 1480. You live in the middle of a giant lake in the city of Tenochtitlan. The air smells of incense and lake water. You aren't thinking about toys or games. You are looking at the older men walking past you. They wear the spotted skins of jaguars. They carry wooden swords lined with glass that can decapitate a horse. These are the Jaguar warriors. They are the elite special forces of the Aztec Empire. Everyone in the city fears them. Everyone in the city respects them. You want to be one of them. But in this world, nothing is given to you. You have to take it. To the Aztecs, war was not just a job, it was a holy mission. They didn't fight to expand their borders like the Romans. They fought to keep the sun moving across the sky. They believed that if they stopped winning, the world would literally end in darkness. This created a society where every single boy was born to be a soldier. From the moment you could walk, your hair was cut in a specific way to show your rank. You were told that your only purpose was to serve the emperor. But the path from a small boy to a legendary predator is paved with pain, blood, and impossible tests. It is a journey that most boys do not survive.
Now let's go back to the year 1480. You are 10 years old. Your childhood officially ends today. You leave your parents and enter the Telpochcalli. This is the house of youth. It is a school, but it feels more like a prison. The teachers are veteran warriors with scars all over their bodies. They do not use kind words. They use sticks and thorns. On your first day, they cut your hair short. They leave only one long lock of hair at the back of your neck. This is the mark of a student. You cannot cut that lock of hair until you capture your first prisoner on a real battlefield. Until then, everyone knows you are just a boy. You are a long-haired one. It is a badge of shame that you must wear every single day. Life in the school is brutal. You wake up before the sun. The air in the mountains is biting cold. You don't get a warm blanket. You dive into the icy waters of Lake Texcoco. This is to toughen your skin and your spirit. If you cry, the punishment is worse. You spend your mornings carrying heavy logs and massive stones. You carry them up the steep steps of the temples. This builds the massive leg muscles you will need to march for days. You also learn how to handle the atlatl. This is a wooden tool used to throw spears with incredible force. You practice until your arms ache. You learn that in the Aztec army, there is no room for weakness.
The teachers also test your hunger. You are given very little food. Sometimes you are forced to find your own meal in the wild. You learn how to move silently through the brush. You learn how to watch your shadow so the enemy doesn't see you. But the most important lesson is about the Macuahuitl. This is a wooden club with razor-sharp volcanic glass called obsidian. It is sharper than a modern surgeon's scalpel. You don't just swing it like a bat. You learn to slice. You learn where the veins are in a human neck. You learn how to break a man's leg without killing him. Remember, the goal isn't to kill. The goal is to take a prisoner alive. By the time you are 15, you are a machine. Your body is hard like the stones you carried. You know how to use every weapon in the armory. But you are still just a student. You have never seen a real drop of enemy blood. You have never felt the fear of a man trying to take your life. That is about to change. The drums are beating in the center of the city. The emperor has declared a flowery war. This is not a war for land. It is a war for people. It is your first chance to prove you are a man. If you fail, you stay a servant forever. If you succeed, you take your first step toward the jaguar skin. The drums of Tenochtitlan are no longer for practice. They are the heartbeat of an empire going to war. You march for days with a heavy pack on your back. You are surrounded by thousands of other young men just like you. The dust from the road fills your lungs. Finally, you reach the valley floor. Across the field, you see the enemy. They are the Tlaxcalans. They wear bright feathers and carry shields painted with symbols of death. Your heart hammers against your ribs. This is the Flowery War. It is a massive, organized trap. The goal is not to destroy their city. The goal is to harvest their finest men. Your commander gives the signal. The air fills with the sound of the death whistle. It sounds like 1,000 screaming souls. You run forward. The ground shakes under your feet. Suddenly, a Tlaxcalan warrior is in front of you. He is older. He is stronger. He swings his club at your head. You remember your training. You don't freeze. You duck and feel the wind of the blade pass over your hair. You don't try to kill him. If you kill him, you fail your test. You must bring him back to the priests alive. You swing your Macuahuitl low. You aim for his shins.
The obsidian blades bite deep into his leg. He screams and falls to the dirt. This is the hardest part. You have to drop your weapon and grab him. You use a thick rope to tie his arms behind his back. Other enemies are swarming around you. You have to defend your prisoner while he struggles to escape. Your sweat mixes with the blood on your hands. Finally, your squad moves in to help you. You have done it. You have taken your first captive. Back at the camp, the veteran warriors watch you. They see the blood on your quilted armor. They see the fear in your eyes turning into pride. When you return to the city, everything changes. You are no longer a long-haired one. A priest steps forward with a sharp blade. With one quick motion, he cuts off the lock of hair from the back of your neck. You are finally a man. You are allowed to wear a decorated tunic. You can sit with the soldiers in the great plaza. But you are still not a jaguar. To wear the spotted skin, you need more. You need 4 captives. 1 was luck. 2 was skill. 4 is destiny. You have tasted battle, and now you are hungry for the ultimate rank.
You have captured your first prisoner, but you are not a jaguar yet. To reach that rank, you need 4 high-ranking captives. This is where the gear changes. As you rise in rank, the Empire gives you better tools. Your main weapon is the Macuahuitl. It is a heavy club made of oak. Along the edges, there are grooves filled with obsidian blades. These blades are sharper than any metal razor today. One swing can cut off a limb. But a jaguar must be precise. You don't just hack at the enemy. You use the flat side of the wood to stun them. Then you use the sharp edge to disable their muscles. It is a terrifying dance of wood and glass. For protection, you wear the Xipilli. This is a suit of quilted cotton soaked in salt water. It sounds simple, but it is 2 fingers thick and very tough. It is so strong that it can stop an arrow. It can even turn away a spear thrust. It is much lighter than the steel armor the Spanish would later bring. This allows you to run faster and jump higher than your enemies. You also carry a round shield called a Xipilli. It is made of bamboo and hide, decorated with bright feathers. These feathers aren't just for show. They tell a story. The colors and patterns show every man on the field exactly how many enemies you have captured.
The most iconic part of your gear is the Tlahuistli. This is the full-body suit made to look like a jaguar. It is not just a costume, it is a psychological weapon. When you put on the yellow skin with black spots, you are telling the enemy that you are no longer human. You are a predator. The helmet is carved from hardwood and shaped like a jaguar's head. Your face peeks out from the open jaws. When an enemy sees those wooden teeth and your staring eyes in the heat of battle, they freeze.
That split second of fear is all you need to strike. Finally, you carry the atlatl. This is a spear thrower that acts like an extension of your arm. It allows you to launch a spear with so much power that it can go right through a wooden shield. You use this to thin out the enemy lines before you charge in for the capture. You are now a walking tank. You have the best armor, the sharpest blades, and the most frightening appearance on the continent. You are ready for the final step. You are ready to enter the great temple and join the elite.
You have done it! You have captured 4 high-ranking enemies. You have survived the blood and the noise of the battlefield. Now, your life changes forever. You are no longer just a soldier. You are a Jaguar warrior. You are part of the elite. You move out of your old neighborhood and into a palace near the great temple. This is the heart of Tenochtitlan. You eat the finest foods like venison and turkey. You are even allowed to drink cacao, which is a spicy chocolate drink reserved only for the rich and the brave. You wear jewelry made of green jade and bright gold. In the street, people step aside to let you pass. They look at your scarred arms with awe. But this life of luxury has a very dark side. You are now a sun follower. Your job is to feed the gods. The Aztecs believed that the sun needed human hearts to have the energy to rise every morning. As a Jaguar, you are the one who provides those hearts. You lead your prisoners up the hundreds of steep stone steps of the Templo Mayor. The air at the top is thick with the smell of blood and copal incense. You watch as the priests perform the ritual. You do not look away.
To you, this is not a crime. It is a holy duty. You believe that without your hard work on the battlefield, the stars would fall and the world would end. Being an elite also means you are the first person the emperor calls when there is trouble. If a city refuses to pay taxes, you are sent to break their gates. If a rebellion starts, you are the one who ends it. You don't just fight for yourself anymore. You fight for the glory of the entire empire. You spend your days in the House of the Eagles and Jaguars, a special club where you plan battle tactics and study the stars. You are a scholar of war. You learn how to read maps made of bark paper. You learn how to lead hundreds of men into a synchronized ambush. However, being at the top makes you a target. Every young boy in every enemy tribe wants to be the one who kills a Jaguar. You can never truly relax. When you sleep, your weapons are within reach. When you eat, you listen for the sound of the war drum. You have reached the peak of your society, but the view from the top is dangerous. Little do you know, a new enemy is coming from across the sea. They do not care about capturing prisoners. They do not care about the sun. They carry sticks of fire and wear silver skin. The year is 1519. The horizon is filled with strange, floating mountains. Men with pale skin and metal suits have landed on your shores. They do not fight like any enemy you have ever known. You are a veteran Jaguar warrior now. You have fought in dozens of battles. You have captured many men. But these conquistadors are different. They do not want to capture you alive. They do not want to feed the sun. They fight to kill. They carry long tubes of iron that spit thunder and smoke. From a distance, they can put a hole through your quilted armor before you even see them. You meet them in the streets of your beautiful city. The battle is a nightmare. Your Macuahuitl is sharp, but it cannot cut through their steel breastplates. You swing with all your might, and the obsidian blades shatter against their metal helmets. You see your fellow warriors charging forward with bravery, but the Spanish have horses, beasts you have never seen before. These animals move faster than any human runner. Even though their technology is terrifying, you do not give up. You use the narrow alleys of the city to your advantage. You jump from rooftops onto the backs of the horsemen. But the enemy brings a secret weapon called smallpox. By the time the final battle comes, the empire is weak. The
The great temple is burning. You stand on the last bridge, holding your broken wooden club. You go down fighting, not as a victim, but as a predator. The jaguar skin is torn, but your spirit remains unbroken.